Our photog Troy and I are hitting the road to Holland today for something a little special. We're not serving up any hot food. No, get your koozies ready because we got some cold snacks on tap.
Yep, these kinds of cold snacks. West Michigan is almost synonymous with this golden gatter. The craze for craft beer has captured our hearts and our stomachs. But what does it take to go from crop to can? I'm at Big Lake Brewing in Holland to find out.
Hey there, how's it going, Max?
Hey, Zach.
It's so nice to meet you,
Yeah,
Zach.
you too, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and thanks for having us here. First, let's talk about what here even is. Where are we standing right now?
We're in Big Lake Brewing's production facility right now. So this is where most of the beer's made that goes statewide, even a lot of stuff that goes to the pub. Nearly everything you see in cans comes from here or on tap out in the market.
And before it gets into the can, it's sitting in one of the 15 barrels in this giant facility here. But Big Lake Brewing wasn't always big, right?
No.
It got started small in someone's garage.
Yep, very small. The previous ownership was 3 guys that homebrewed together, worked together, were friends. And the classic story of, brewing in pots out in the garage with propane burners ended up turning into some good beer, and then they decided to open a brewery.
So as the head brewer now, you've seen everything of what it takes for Big Lake Brewing to be the brand that it is today.
Everybody's got passion and drive, otherwise they wouldn't do it. But I think coming from the farming background really helps, actually creating grain, and then being able to ferment that into something that we actually want to drink.
Speaking of grains and stuff, we got a couple things on the table right here.
Yeah, we got some barley here. This is our base 2-row that we have in our silo, and then this is some hops that we got from Angami hops.
Fantastic.
So we'll put that in the boil kettle there, depending on the recipe and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
End up with something like this after it's all done 3 weeks
right
later.
On cue, because we want to know what it takes to get from something like this into something like that. You want to go through the process?
Sure.
We're going to start here in the corner with these 3 tanks, which at one point were sitting inside your home.
Yep. Yeah, it was in my pole barn. It all kind of starts with an idea. And then once we get that idea, we got to try it out, prove the theory, and then we can make changes as we go. And this is where the grain goes. So we have our hot water here, which is that in our big system. Okay. And then we put our grain here, we boil it there. We ferment it over there, and then it goes here for conditioning and carbonation again. Just like an exact replica of the big system in the other rooms.
And this is the big system,
this
bigger
is the big
versions,
one,
right?
But it's the exact same system here. And then once, like I said, we do the mash and we do the boil, then it kind of goes through all these pipe works into the other room after we chill it down with a heat exchanger, and then it goes to the fermentation tanks where it sits for 2 weeks.
How do you know when you've boiled it enough and it's ready to go into the next room?
Well, it's all decided by the recipe ahead of time, whether we go for an hour and a half or whatever. So once we get it up to a boil and we add our first edition hops, we start a timer. Then we keep an eye on it, and we can add stuff throughout the stage until it's done. The longer the hops are in the boil, the more bitter they become. The later you use hops, the more flavor and some aromatics you can get out of it.
Okay, and after the hour, everything gets sent?
Yep, it runs through the chiller and gets sent through here.
And this room is where the magic happens. Each of these tanks can hold up to 1,000 gallons of liquid. Basically starts as sugar water that ferments for a few days. The yeast eats the sugar, creating carbonation and alcohol, and each tank holds a different style of beer.
And then that, like I said, gets pumped to this side of things, which is where they condition. And you can see we're filling kegs right now. I believe that's cotton candy haze we're filling, and we did orange cream this morning. He's finishing the orange cream on the canning line right now. And then they're all packaged by hand. Somebody had to do all this. When you get a 4-pack at the store, we actually put it in that 4-pack.
Wow, and we're watching it happen right now.
Zach says they usually package up to 10,000 cans a day, and then once a week, the semi comes to pick up the products, and the products get delivered to a distributor before showing up on the shelves.
Okay, so we've seen the whole process. I think it's only fitting now that we do a bit of a taste test. Troy, come on in here. He's been behind the camera the whole time. I think you've earned this. What do we got here?
This is the best part. We got our exploratory volume 2. It's what we make when the brewers want to throw, profit to the wind and basically make something that's super expensive and fun for us to drink.
Okay.
So we got Pacific Gem hops, Idaho number 7, and we got a cryo blend of hops from Yakima Valley made for New England IPAs.
Let's go. Expensive and fun.
Yep.
It's a Big Lake
Cheers.
Brewing.
Thanks for having
Fox
us.
17 Unfiltered. Yeah, that's flavorful stuff.
Can you even tell it's almost 10%?
No, that's I can't. Which I think just to make sure that I can't tell, let me just have one more sip.
You might as well.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
After finishing up at the production facility, Troy and I took a trip just 1.5 miles down the road to Big Lake Brewing's pub on the north side of town.
This is a 7,000 square foot pub with a full kitchen, and unlike the production facility, all the beer that's sitting inside the tanks here comes out a product that is only served to the people parked inside this dining room.
When you're at production, they have a huge hot liquor tank and a way bigger kettle than what we have. So this is our small 7-barrel system.
Yeah.
Theirs is basically twice as big as this. And then our fermenters and bright tanks are a quarter the size of what they have. They have huge ones.
Big Lake brews once a week here at the pub, and that produces 13 kegs a week compared to those 10,000 cans a day at the production facility. Here, the beer goes to the kegs, from the kegs to the cooler, and from the cooler straight to your cup.
Any beers you want to try?
What do you recommend?
Big Lake Camper is my favorite, personally.
Oh, okay, then we'll go with that.
Yeah. How much you want? 20 ounce? Lunchtime?
What's the biggest you can pour?
20 ounce.
We'll do a little guy. How about that?
The pub has 24 beers on tap. Big Lake Camper is a New England style IPA. Jeff says it wasn't brewed with any fruit, but it still has a nice pineapple finish.
I don't know if I got the pineapple the first time, so let me just...
Yes, definitely need to try that a couple more times.
Ah, there it is. There's pineapple.
There you go.
It's perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
guys.
Just learning about the entire process.
So you know where it comes from: the grain, the hops, the water, into the keg, out of the tap, into your glass.
So now at home, you can appreciate what you're drinking just a little bit more.